एवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. We are on 45th verse, second chapter. We have started from last week. Okay, right. So, verse 45. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Nirdvandvo Nityasattvastho. Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. O Arjun, the Vedas deal with the three guns, attributes. Okay, three guns means Sattva, Raja, Tama. And someone translate this as modes also. Okay, and their evolutes. Be free from those attributes. Rise above the polarity of opposites. Remain balanced. Be unconcerned about the meeting of wants and preservation of what has been already attained and get established in the self. Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. O Arjun, be free from the evolutes of these attributes. Be free from worldly enjoyment as well as means of attaining such enjoyment. And next Bhagavan says, Nirdvandvo. Okay. Pairs of opposites. Sukh, dukh, like, dislike. These are all the pairs of opposite. Nirdvandvo, for a striver to transcend the worldly enjoyment, it's inevitable to be free from the pairs of opposites, such as attachment and aversion, etc., because these are his real enemies and are the stumbling block in his spiritual progress. Right? So, Sukhe Dukhe Same Krutva, equanimity, balance, as Swamiji has explained here. Need to balance. Otherwise, it can create an obstacle on our spiritual path. Dvandva means having opposite feelings for something, as the feelings of attachment and aversion, pleasure and pain, etc., for the world. This misleads an aspirant to bondage. Now, here, Bhagavan Sri Krishna orders Arjuna to rise above the pairs of opposite. So, be attentive. What is what Bhagavan says or what Bhagavan orders? Rise above the pairs of opposites means the pairs of opposites will be there, but you don't have to stuck yourself there. Be it sukh or dukh, be it like or dislike. be it opportunity or obstacle. It can be anything. But Bhagwan emphasized to rise above the pairs of opposites because through their deluding nature, human beings are enveloped in utter ignorance. When the striver gets rid of this delusion, he can worship him with a firm resolve. Only resolution is not enough. Bhagavan has put the adjective firm resolve. By transcending these pairs of opposites, he is easily freed from bondage. So, if we really want to be free from the bondage, okay, we have to rise above the pairs of opposite. One becomes undeluded and he is not bound. So the Lord, Bhagavan Krishna, wants him to be free from the pairs of opposites. Now, the another aspect is that if a person develops attachment for one person or a thing, it can be a person or an object, it can be anything, okay? He is sure to develop aversion to other persons or thing. The moment we say, I like this, that means I don't like that. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. By having such attachment to the world, an aspirant turns indifferent to God. This indifference is a sort of aversion to God. But if one develops true devotion to God, again, the adjective is there. Not only devotion, true devotion. In the in future, we will see that Bhagavan has used the word avyabhicharini bhakti. Not only bhakti, avyabhicharini bhakti. Okay, right? But we'll discuss when it comes. So here also, right? True devotion to God without having any attachment or aversion to the world, he develops total disinclination for it. Now, Swamiji tries to explain here about this total discrimination, right? And Swamiji has mentioned there are three stages. In the first stage, the aspirant has no hatred for unfavorable circumstances, but there is upeksha. And here upeksha is translated as neglect, or another word you can say just ignore. Okay, it is favorable condition or non-favorable condition, just ignore. But if we try to understand the word upeksha, Sanskrit, okay, it's made by two words, upa, iksha. Upa means near, iksha means to see or to watch. Okay, so the moment we try to see it minutely, we will get to know or will be able to convince ourselves that we don't have to get involved with this kind of thing. Rather, then it comes. Rather, ignore, neglect. Okay, right. So, for this total disinclination, three stage. The first stage is upeksha or the neglect or to ignore. And what is that? No hatred for unfavorable circumstances. Second, in the second stage, there is udasinata, unconcernedness. And the third, while in the third stage, there is total disinclination. In the last stage, total disinclination, attachment and aversion are totally wiped out. If this process is considered minutely, we find that in upeksha, there remain impression of attachment and aversion, right? As I explained you earlier. At least we're going to see minutely, okay? So the impression still will be there. Second, in udasinata, the feelings of attachment and aversion remain, while in total disclination, in fact, this the correct word for in Sanskrit, this inclination is uparati. Okay. There are neither impressions nor feelings or attachment and aversion. In this state, attachment and aversion are totally wiped out. We don't get involved. It's there. It's there. Like we are on the beach, on the seashore, okay? The waves are coming. We can see far it's coming. Then, by the time it reaches to the shore, it's almost gone. Okay. But in the meantime, another waves started. But we don't get involved with that. It comes and it goes. It appears and it disappears. Nitya Sattvastho. The advice is to rise above the pairs of opposites and to get established in the omnipresent and everlasting God. Okay. Right. For if our destination, I'm just giving you the to understand the worldly example. Okay. What is told here? The advice is to rise above the pairs of opposites and to get established in the omnipresent and everlasting God. So, for an example, our destination is Cape Town. Okay. And we are driving 1000 plus kilometers, right? On our way to Cape Town, we decided just take off ramp and visit Kharif Dam. Okay, right? There's a dam, right? Okay. But that is not our destination. Doesn't matter how beautiful it is, how attractive it is, how tempting it is, because our destination is Cape Town. So we have to rise above that. It can be good, it can be bad, right? This is just for our understanding. Niryogakshema. Do not have the desire even for the provision of the means required. This, okay, let me complete this and I'll try to explain you. For the provision of the means required, yoga and the preservation of what has already been attained, because I provide, Bhagavan says, I provide for and preserve all for those who have exclusive devotion for. And that has been mentioned by Bhagavan in chapter 9, verse 22. One of the most important verses. Okay, of course, all 700 verses are important, very good. But some of them are, you can say, close to my heart is that in the chapter 9:22, and that says, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupasate teshan nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyam. The chapter is known as Raj Vidya, Raj Guhya Yoga. Okay. Now, the translation of that particular verse, chapter 9, verse 22, there are those who always think of me and engage in exclusive devotion to me, to them whose minds are always absorbed in me. I provide what they lack and preserve what they already possess. That is the Yoga Kshema. Here, the Bhagwan has emphasized the word Niryoga Kshema. Yoga Kshema. Yoga Kshema means apraptasya praptavyam and praptasya rakshaniyam. What you have possessed, what you have earned, what you have already got, that will be protected. And what you don't have, I will take the responsibility to provide that things to you. That Bhagwan has told. That is the explanation of Yoga Kshemam. Right? Okay. So having the aim of God realization get established in the self. Self means eternal existence of God. Nirdvandvo. Niryogakshema, then nirdvandvo. Again, nirdvandvo. In fact, the discrimination between the insentient and sentient, real, unreal, eternal, transitory, perishable, non perishable, is also a pair of opposites. This is going to last long. This is not going to last long. These are all the pair of opposites. The desire for gain and security is also duality. Okay. Desire for to gain. Okay. I must have that. But we don't stop there. It should last. Right? So the desire for gain and security is also a duality. Bhagavan says here, rise above the pair of opposites. Okay. Because of duality, all is God. This reality is not realized. The reason is when all is God, then how can duality between the sentient self and the insentient matter subsist? Therefore, Bhagavan has declared himself both immortality as well as death. And here again, our favorite Upanishad comes Ishava Shavidam Sarvam. Everything is enveloped, covered by me. Ishava Shavidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyan Jagat. Everything, everything. So, if the Sat, spirit is me, Bhagwan says, matter also is me. Sat, the real is me. Asat, the unreal also me. And that's why in the again in the 9th chapter, Bhagwan has mentioned in 19th verse, Amrutan chaiva mrutyoscha sadasachaham Arjuna. I am immortality as well as death personified. O Arjun, I am the spirit as well as the matter. Everything I am. Right? That's why I think last week or last week we were again discussing that example of ocean. Okay. So if we are on the shore and far we'll see that the waves born in the ocean, and by the time it reaches to shore, it disappears. Where? Again in the ocean. So in total, what is that? Ocean. Waves were there for a while. Waves appeared there for a while and again disappeared. The permanent existence is not the waves, but the ocean. Okay, that applies to all of us. Here we have completed the verse 45 and we'll be starting verse 46. Okay, right, start. यावानर्थ उदपाने यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः as on obtaining a reservoir of water flooded on all sides. There is no use for a small reservoir of water. So, a Brahmagna who obtains enlightenment has the same use for all the Veds, or say no use at all. Yava nartha udapane sarvatah samplutodake. A small reservoir of water is useful in a place where there is no other source of water. But nobody ever pays any attention to such a reservoir of water where there is a big reservoir of pure water. Moreover, that such a small reservoir of water becomes dirty and impure and cannot be used for drinking purpose after washing and bathing in it. But water from a large stream remains clean and pure even after washing and bathing in it. Tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Likewise, oblation, charities, penance, pilgrimage, etc., mentioned in the scriptures, in the Vedas, are of use to those who are ignorant. But this become meaningless to the illumined souls who have realized God. The same kind of comparison has been made in the 17th verse, that the emancipated souls are like sea, as several rivers fall into it, but its magnitude remains the same. Similarly, the illumined souls remain undisturbed through several kinds of pleasure and enjoyment merge into him. Again, as we have seen this, we must not have that misunderstanding that Bhagwan is against Veda. No, it's not that. Okay. In fact, in the 15th chapter, Bhagwan has mentioned Vedesya Sarvairahamiva Vedyo. Even uh, another few verses are like that. So it's not that. We must understand that The moment we have created the bigger picture in our mind, or the bigger goal, or let me use the word, the final goal for, for in our life, then the small things have no meaning. Okay. So in the Veda, there are different sections, and in the Veda, there are rituals also. Unfortunately, so-called wise people, not wise, so-called wise people, will emphasize on the ritualistic part of the Veda. And here again, Bhagavan wants all of us, keeping Arjun in as a representative, that we have to rise above this. Rituals are good, okay, that will take you to that path. But again, you don't have to stuck with the rituals only and forget your goal. For an example, okay, small child, okay, asking to his daddy for the bicycle, okay, but daddy has given him chocolate or the chocobar, okay, and then he is happy with that. So he forgets the bicycle. That should not happen. So all the small thing, it might give us the worldly pleasure, but that is not our final goal. That Bhagwan wants to tell us, keeping Arjun as a representative. So again, I'm telling you that we must not have any misunderstanding, okay? Because Ved, as I told you last time, that are known as apaurushaya, impersonal. It's not written by anybody. It came directly from Bhagavan. Okay? Right. So a great soul who possesses knowledge of the Bhagavan, the Ved and the scriptures, is called Brahmanasya Vijanatah. Ved means to know. Ved, the word Ved came from with, and with to know. And that is more important. And knowledge is the highest thing Bhagavan has mentioned in the Gita. By using the term Tawan, Bhagavan Krishna means to say that the great soul, after realizing God, transcends the three attributes, the guna or the modes, rise above the pair of opposites, becomes free from attachment and aversion, gets established in the
It's 20
self,
hours.
and remains unconcerned about provision and preservation. He always remains devoted to God. There is no end of worldly pleasures. There are endless universes and there are endless pleasures in them. But if they are renounced and one becomes detached from them, they come to an end. Similarly, there are endless desires, but they are renounced. They come to an end and the man becomes desireless. Okay. Because it's rightly mentioned here, desires are endless. One is fulfilled, the another is there. Second is fulfilled, third is there. Third is fulfilled, fourth is there. And it has no stop sign. One after the other, one after the other. And Bhagwan wants us to become desireless. Yadacha labh santushto dvandvatito vimatsarah. So, Ichha, Sadichha, and Yadricha. Ichha, desire. Sadichha, good desire, okay? And Yadricha is desire. Thy will shall happen. And that stage is known as to become desireless. Let him think. He knows better what is right for me in my life. He knows better than me whether I deserve that or not. Okay. And if I do deserve, he will fulfill. That's how we should try to create that state of mind in our life, the desirelessness. No desire. Let him fulfill. Let him provide. And that's why Bhagavan has told in the 9th chapter, 22nd word, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. Apraptasya praptam. What you have not earned, what you have not got, it's my responsibility to provide you. And praptasya rakshaniyam. What you already have, I'll make sure that it will be protected. It will be preserved. That's guarantee Bhagavan himself has given to all of us, right? And that's why this Bhagavad Gita and our classes. Right? Anyway, here we have completed the 46th verse. Next verse will be 47. One of the most again important and most quoted, one of the most quoted among the wise men and the great men and the saints is the verse 47, Karmani eva adhiparaste, ma phaleshu kadashana, ma karma phalheturpur, ma te sangotsva karmane. That, but we are not going to start today. We'll take it, we'll start it from next week. And today's explanation, today's class, whatever you like, whatever you enjoyed, credit goes to all the scriptures, all the great men, whatever I have heard, I have read, I have studied. And as you know, that our main reference book is Swami Ram Sukdas ji's Sadhak Sanjeevani. So, credit goes to Sadhak Sanjeevani's author, Swami Ram Sukdas ji too. Okay, we'll conclude our today's class reciting 73rd verse of 18th chapter, followed by the Arati. Nashto moha smrutirlabdha tvat prasadanmayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha करिष्ये वचनं तव करिष्ये वचनं तव